Yep, there we go. Hi, everybody. Ben here, and actually, wait a minute. This is gonna start playing. Wait. No, there's an ad there. Good. Hi, everybody. Ben here, and welcome back to Cinderblock Studios. And I'm doing a live show tonight because I haven't done one in forever. I was actually looking back. Well, I did a cooking thing a little while ago that nobody watched, which was fun, but fun for me, fun for nobody else. So yeah, I'm doing a live thing. Um, because I got some projects to catch up on, and unfortunately, more projects on my plate than what I'm catching up on. So, really good idea for me to have the motivation to do this today, especially since I worked this weekend, or rather today. Well, this weekend being today and tomorrow. Um, so I was like, I gotta find a way to get some studio time in today, and the only way I'm gonna have the motivation to do that is if I do a live show. So, I just mixed up some paint over here, which is good. Actually, I gotta get my gotta get OBS going over here to be sure that my camera doesn't freeze because I'm on my laptop and sometimes the camera decides to freeze. Uh, the good news is about that, I will more than likely be selling my laptop and turning my studio machine into my old desktop, and that's a whole other shebang of stuff. So yeah, so I just got home from work about an hour ago. I started setting up, poured myself a drink, and I'm like, okay, let's actually get going painting here tonight. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I'm going to be pulling this a lot closer, so I'm going to tip my camera down a little bit. Because I know when I paint, I pull it in towards me, and probably going to have my head in the way. So yeah, this is all just introductory stuff. Um, I put this out on Twitter as well as on other. Oh wait, I can put. Of course, I don't have to do that. Wait a minute, sorry. I'm configuring my windows here, realizing I don't have to do one thing and do the other thing, and I can just have to move things in different directions. Oh yeah, that totally did that, and that's fine, and now we're good. All right, yeah. So, right. Haven't streamed from the studio in forever, so a little out of practice. So I'm working on this piece called Shrine to the Forest Spirit. It's actually one of the few pieces that I did in my sketchbook recently that it's actually now going above my current project list. Because my current project list is at any given time 6 months to now almost 2 to 4 years behind whatever I'm currently sketching. But this one, I was like, I really like this idea. I want to do this sooner rather than later, so I grabbed this one to work on, and then almost almost right after I started working on this, two more important projects came onto my plate. I'm like, well, shit, now I got to get this one done so I can work on the other projects. The two other projects, actually, one of the other projects I was actually already starting on before I started doing this. Crap, do I have enough chord space? I do. Good. Is one of the Kingdom of the Wind pieces. So if I manage to get around to finishing this on stream tonight, I will be doing this one too, which I'm really excited for. But I'm also terrified of because I have to do this whole town thing and do all these buildings, and it's going to be a royal fucking nightmare. But I'm also really looking forward to it. So yeah, thoughts for that for later is the other thing I'm doing. Plus, I've got to do more sketches for a collaborative project I'm doing with a friend and fellow artist in the upcoming months. So yeah, that's the big three that are on my plate currently. But right now, I really gotta stop talking and just get back to working on this. Hey, she spins. Welcome, welcome. Nice having you here. Also, nice to have you popping in every time I seem to be streaming, which is cool. Um, what rare occasions there are anymore. I miss the old crew. More things that I should be focusing on is getting the old crew back together, which I said the last time and still haven't done. Yeah, so I mixed some color up ahead of time. Got myself back to working order. Get my rag up off of the floor because that would be a good idea. Sometimes I wish I had like the how monkeys' feet are kind of like hands. Sometimes I wish my toes were more like hands just so I could grab stuff easier. Because two hands is often not enough. So yeah, there's a lot, kind of a lot on my plate right now. So if I can get one project done and and not have to do any other too much work. It'd be great. So I'm working on these 3 trees, or 3.5. Oh, shit balls. Already dripped paint on there. That's fantastic. So finishing this one, then I have 1, 2, 3 to get, because they were too transparent when I did my last layer. So I want to get those done, and then I'll be starting on this monument thing. Working my way from back to front and such. As always, for anyone watching, I will be taking questions. Actually, I posted this up on Instagram as well. I don't know if I will get any questions that come through there. I didn't really say, like, hey, put your questions here on Instagram or anything, but I wanted to do that and kind of forgot about it. But if on the off chance that any come through, I have to have a look, and my phone's charging upstairs, so I'll have to get that later, or at least remember to get that later. Also, I have no idea how to post an actual link on Instagram. I like typed out the whole web address, but it like didn't automatically hyperlink the way anything else would. And it's like, what the hell, Instagram? Like, why can't you work like anything else? Also, only had a smartphone since November. And some things I still just don't know how to do. But yeah. I want to wait a little bit before I start really talking, because I got so much stuff on my mind. I actually wanted to record a separate video about it, and I still will, but I want to give it a little bit of time here. And if anyone's got questions, or like, hey, what are you doing, or what brush is that, or whatever, let me know. I will get to it if I remember to look up, because I constantly have to remind myself, hey, look up. Look at your chat, you idiot. One of these days I'll put the camera to the side and then not be blocking it. But every time, like, I'm always like, oh, I'll put it over my head, and then I'm always working on some detail stuff that it's harder to see on camera. And then I'll or just maybe just one of these days I'll get a better webcam. So I'm running this old, 720p thing from 10 years ago, or shit, longer than 10 years ago now. Probably 12 years ago. I probably should get a new webcam. Something that is actually a little bit more up to date on what I can do. I did get a really cool internet upgrade recently, which was awesome. I was not expecting it. I've kind of been overpaying, because I have a thing of not wanting to call to do anything. So I finally got around to calling to my internet provider. I'm like, hey, I've got this internet TV package, and I don't watch TV, and like don't even have the cable box hook up or whatever. Can we maybe drop this? And they're like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And you can maybe just pay for internet and it'll be like maybe $20 cheaper, or we can change you to this other similar service to quadruple your speed and basically cut the price in half. And I was like, yes. So now I'm mad at myself for not calling sooner. Because I've been essentially overpaying for my service for like 2.5 years. So now I have even more fancy gigabits per second. But then again, that also makes me want to upload bigger videos. It's like, how long can I make this next tutorial? I don't know, 2 hours? Sure. That implies I actually have an idea for a tutorial. I am very quickly running out of ideas for tutorials. Every now and then I come up with a good one, but it's like, I have no idea what to do for this. what I really want to do is do like a full walkthrough of from like idea to like signature in a painting. Um, so like the whole idea process and sketching through concepts and doing that. But there is a whole subset of um, motivation and not going which way and that way and the other way and this like just ends up being more of a pain in the butt than anything else. And then at that point I'm like that I'm not concentrating on the piece, and then the quality of the piece suffers. And I'd rather make a good painting and try and talk about it later than trying to do it all at the same time and make doing mediocre art, because there's a lot of mediocre art out there, and the world doesn't need any more of that. I'd rather make something greater than trying to randomly toss on other just like it's a painting. Like no, I want to make something that's gonna inspire somebody and mean something to somebody. Speaking of which, I sold a painting last night, or rather, a painting was sold last night, I should say. Every time I say I sold a painting, it's my art manager sold a painting on my behalf. Um, but it's been interesting, I guess, to say the least. Every now and then I get a message like, "Hey, here's a painting. Come get your money, or I'll PayPal you, or whatever." It's weird every time because I forget that people actually like buying art when they're given something that is a um, reasonable or even cheap price. Like every artist around me is like, "You really undersell yourself." And I'm like, "I know," but I would rather get my work in someone's hands than hold it over their head, being like, "Ha ha, you can't afford this." I can always make more. I don't need to think that one piece is worlds more valuable than the next. It's like, you bought that, okay, great. I'll make another one because I can. As long as I'm alive, I can keep making stuff. And like maybe like if I was dead and that was like the last piece I ever did, then yeah, sure, I'd charge more. Um, as long as I'm continuing to make stuff, continuing to improve, and always pushing the limits, then I have no problem charging maybe a little bit less than the competition to get my work out there and further places and win more people's hands. In the grand scheme of things, technically my prints are the most proportionally expensive thing, but trying to make up print costs and stuff, and you know might only cost X amount of money to print it, but if I'm charging 10 times what it costs to print the actual sheet, um, then I'm making a good profit, even if it takes 6 months to sell one. Honestly, it's weird to me. I was the collaboration I'm starting with a friend and fellow Pittsburgh artist. Um, we were talking a little bit about the business side of things the other day, and shit, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something important. Forgot what it was. Um, something about the business side of art. Oh yeah, that's what it was. I've gotten really good at coming back to my train of thought in recent years. I used to be terrible at it. Anyhow, so the one thing I said that it actually surprises most people when I start talking about well, how'd you get started, and did starting to sell and making a business and things. And it's like I actually never ever wanted to do art as a business, which is really ironic because now that's what I'm doing. Um, and my issue with it then, and to some degree still now, is that I never wanted my passion to feel like a chore or feel like a job. Um, and so I've structured the way I've built Cinderblock Studios as a business in such a way that I um, for most things don't have to think about it as a business. I just continue to think about it as my passion. Because there is a other mutual fellow artist in Pittsburgh in our art collective that is a really good painter, but he often rushes through what he does and cranks out a volume of work rather than a quality of work. And we were also talking a bit about that. I'm trying to be as vague as possible as to not damage anyone's business, career, or otherwise. So I'm not mentioning names. I'm trying to be vague here. But for anyone in my community that may or may not see this, you probably already know who I'm talking about in either sense. But when you focus everything on the production of your work and you stop focusing on things like being a better artist, making better decisions, both personally for your own, um, like being a better person, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all that stuff, and sacrificing everything for like the job of art, you kind of lose some of that passion as a result. And there's also the thing of pushing. This is one of the things that I talked to my collaborator about. It was pushing out passion projects just because you're passionate about them. Not everything you do as an artist is necessarily worth showing. There's a lot of things like, and that's why I actually loved having him by the other day, because I was showing him stuff. I'm like, this is stuff that I don't show. This is stuff that I don't sell because these are the projects. These are the things that I do for me. Um, like maybe eventually I have to sell them just because they're taking up space. I don't have to sell stuff, but doing just having the stuff for you is important. And especially subject matter too. Like that came up in that conversation too, and it was something like it might be really cool to look at, but who's gonna hang it in their house? Who's gonna actually? Uh, it's like, yeah, this is cool. It's good color, good shape. The contrast is great. It's like all the fundamental elements and principles of design are there. But if the subject matter is a little off, it's gonna be like, it looks great in the gallery, but no one's gonna buy this to put in their house because it's not that kind of piece, or no one's gonna put this in their business because it's not that kind of piece. Or sometimes both, if it's depending on how. God, I'm really dancing around the bush here, not talking about specifics. If a piece is in some way explicit, um, whether that be in the visual sense or maybe there's a word in a piece, like if you're using a newspaper clipping or putting a lot of I know a lot of specifically like graffiti-minded artists will utilize language in a certain way, using profanity or racist language to some degree. Not necessarily always in the best light. Sometimes it's done in such a way that is often misconstrued. However, you have to think about, again, like where are you selling? Where are you putting your work? What is your goal with this? So in a gallery setting, again, there's a number of works in my Red Visual Studios where I show and have a more or less permanent spot. That the piece is there. It's like looks great in the gallery. Probably not going to sell because no one's going to hang it up. No one's going to want this in their home or business because of the sense of controversy. And again, I don't want to bash on the message those works provide, or what, because art in many ways is social commentary in so many ways. Um, but what you get out of some artists is they don't understand that you have to have work that is defined beyond just that, beyond just making a statement. Um, so the work you do for client work, for, geez, I'm making a mess of this canvas tonight. Hey Ben, maybe not used your watercolor rag when rubbing acrylic shit. Don't destroy your canvas with other media. It might be a good idea. Crap. I'll have to work on that later. Have to rematch that color. Shit. That's what I get for being messy and talking. But you lose something in. It's a balance. That's all I'm trying to say. There's a balance between the statement works as an artist. There's a balance between what you're passionate about, and there's a balance between what will sell. And finding that balance is really, really, really important. But it's also important, again, if you're working as a resident artist, or for me, it's like being a resident artist, but not actually living, having a studio there, is that you have this almost obligation to make something that you know both will have an impact as well as something that people were willing to buy. And not every artist gets that, or is ready to get that or understand it. Um, so that's kind of where I see a lot of things right now, at least with where I'm showing and with the artists I interact with, because I find that a lot of artists really are, because especially if anyone, some of the artists in the gallery as well come from a, they majored in art in college, so they're coming from this idea of I have to push the limits, I have to show this, either the most intense emotional pieces for me, or push cultural limits, and like it has to be like this really deep meaning. It doesn't have to have a really deep meaning unless you really want it to, and if that's what you're passionate about. And the third caveat, of course, is if that's what is gonna sell. And if you don't know what's gonna sell, obviously you can test the waters a little bit, but chances are the people buying art in a gallery are buying something for their home or business. At least from my experience. So the real question to ask is, can you imagine what you're making sitting on someone's wall? And if you can't, then I think it might be something to sort of mentally fact check for yourself and say, okay, I'm not necessarily, um, I, okay, backtracking that sentence. Say to yourself, I like this idea. This is a good idea. I want to do this, and you still can. But is this a piece I'm going to sell? And I had a thought a couple of years ago. I'm going to figure out where I'm at here and maybe make some extra color. I got to get a... This needs to be lighter. I want... Which one? This color mix. Sorry, I got to make some new color. It's really... Shit, I lost my train of thought now. See what I get for mixing color? Yeah, something about the balance between... damn it. If I talk about it later, I've been watching videos about ADHD recently, because I have it, and I want to make a video about that. And the reason why I'm forgetting my train of thoughts is part of that. But shit, something about art and the business and what you're making, and damn it, it's gone. Pouring myself a drink simultaneously helped and didn't help. Takes the edge off, but sometimes not always in the best way. Crap. Sorry, let me think for a second. Okay, so it's a balance between finding work that sells, work you like making, and work that makes a statement or is whatever idea you're trying to express. And the different facets and the different artists that I've met uh, seem to all focus on one or the other. Uh, Very few really understand the culmination of the three. So I've got artists that are really great at statement pieces, and their technicals. Actually, it was across the board. Like if your technical skill isn't up to snuff, it's not going to matter regardless. Um, but that should never be a deterrent to you not selling your work or not trying to sell your work. To say I'm not good enough to do it. No, try to do it anyway. I mean, I'm fully aware that I'm not the best painter in the world. I am actually constantly mentally beating myself up, telling myself I'm not good enough to be where I am. But for some reason, people are still buying my work, which is weird to me. Um, but uh, uh, yeah, so the caveat of the three is having enough um, technical skills for the other things to matter, but whatever. It's anyhow. So again, to review, art that you love making, art that shoot, I'm already losing my train of thought again. Art that you love making, art that um, sells, and art that makes a statement to one degree or another. Uh, I would say that my art is not something I do to make a statement. Also, hey Ben, remember to mix your color, you idiot. Oh no, I want the other white. um, Jeez, that's early on there. Um, so I would say that my art is not something that strictly makes a statement. I'm not trying to do something political in that sense, because there's political art, there's pop art. That's not me. It's not really what I do. However, I will say that having something to say rather than art that makes a statement is really that idea. So wow, it's totally not the rant I was expecting to go on. I wasn't expecting to go on a rant today. I was expecting to work and not talk, but screw it. That's where I'm going tonight. Um, so I noticed my viewers spiked up and then dropped as soon as I started talking and not painting. So I suppose that is a cue to, hey, maybe you should paint. Um, oh, thanks. Quit. Oh, jeez, I'm not gonna even pronounce that right. Quedos. Quedos. Also, Lucas is in the chat. Awesome. And no, Lucas, I was not talking about you. I was talking about other artists in my community that I'm not gonna destroy their career over. Um, Also, I know that came in a while ago, but I'm just trying to keep up. Oh shoot, I need a blue in here. Damn it. So yeah, finding the balance between three different mindsets, and that's where I was sort of going with this. Is the artists I encounter are artists that split between all of them, but I find very few artists. I would say like me, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've also been, trying to push the professional market for 10 plus years now, and learning a lot of things along the way. Um, but finding that balance and finding that is really important. Um, so you find artists that are really good at um, shit. So now suddenly backtracking my thought process, and now I'm actually starting to figure out what the hell I was saying. So there's artists that really understand the political side of things. And the meaning side of things. So these are the artists that usually come out of art school. Now that I'm mixing paint and clearing my head, as soon as I start working, I start to remember stuff. Because painting really clears my head once. That's why I love it so much. Um, just like everything else goes away when I'm working, and I can just focus on whatever I was thinking or talking about and whatever. Anyhow, so the people that come out of art school are people that are often are really good at pushing meaning into their work. Oh, that's what I was. That's the tangent before. I was saying well, if you're coming out of art school, you're going to be technically skilled. You don't necessarily have to be. There are artists that definitely push those limits that aren't, but um, I would say that 9 times out of 9 times out of 10, the people that are pushing the symbology more are the people coming out of art school. That's the fucking 15-minute thing or probably 10-minute thing that took me to say. Not that that's a problem, it's just a trend that I've noticed in my personal experience of meeting artists. Then there are the artists that are really good at... Shit, I've already forgot the 3. I should have written them down. Symbology. Shoot. Has anyone been listening long enough to rattle those off? Because now I really can't remember. I feel like technical skill was one of them, but now I'm thinking technical skill, and that's shit. I just gotta paint it and I gotta quit talking. Part of me wants to entertain, and there's the technical skill people that are no symbology. There's the... Damn it! I'm really mad at myself now because I got way more sidetracked than I should have. Also, by the way, for the piece, I'm leaning on some traditional Japanese symbology and myth, because that's where I'm heading. The rocks are going to have a little rope around them with a talisman of sorts. Now I'm losing all words. You see it in anime a lot. It's based on like Shinto mythology and stuff, where you see talisman is the wrong word, but talisman to ward off evil spirits or act as a protection or something like that. Damn, I'm still trying to remember, and that's the worst thing for me to be doing right now, is trying to remember, because as soon as I try to remember, I forget more. So, yeah. Damn it. Oh God, I remember. Son of a bitch. Artists that do it's no, fuck it, it's gone again. God, my mind's awful. Okay, well, no, the third one I don't remember. The other one was something about quality over quantity. Shit. Okay, now I remember. Symbology, will it sell, and damn it. Are you passionate about it? Fuck it, that's it. 3. I got 3. It only took another 2-3 minutes to remember. Are you passionate about it? Does it sell? And what kind of symbolism you're trying to make? Those were the 3. Anyhow, back to that thought process. So I see artists that have the symbology and oftentimes have the passion as well, but are kind of masking their passion with trying to make it mean something. So if you're trying to make it mean something, you're like, okay, cool, it means something, but you're oftentimes less, at least less interested in what you're doing, because you're really, really, really trying to make it mean something, and to some degree, you're losing that aspect of really enjoying what you're doing. Then I see the artists that love what they're doing, but lack in the symbolism and lack in the ability to know, okay, this isn't going to sell. And that's what I was kind of talking about before. Like, there's quite a few of the artists that I'm closer friends with, at least in the artistic sense. The artists I talk to more, it's like we talk to each other more often, and they're really passionate about what they do, but they don't realize that what they're making is not marketable as a sellable product, and there's no symbolism behind it. They're just making it because it looks cool. And to me, that is something I really relate to, because for a long time I was incapable of really describing my own work. I think I have a how to be an artist topic on this too. Of you got to learn how to talk about your work, because I did the same thing. I was like, I used to just have like, why'd you paint this? I'm like, well, it looks cool, and I thought that was a neat thing to do, and I wanted to make this thing that looked cool. Not a good way to sell your work. So you learn to go into your passions, but be conscious of them, and learn to really be able to express that to other people, which is really, really important too. And then the last thing was it sellable passion. The last one is sellable. There's a lot of stuff that's sellable, but also at that point your lean is closer to graphic design at that point, because it's sellable. People want to buy it, which those things are very good artistically, but you're not passionate about it, and it doesn't mean anything to you or to anyone else, really. So a lot of abstract painters, I would say, have an issue with, and to be honest, I love abstract painters. What abstract painters can do with the manipulation of shape and specifically color, especially like the collector people that can just like push, like there's like 5 colors and they just smear them in the right direction and it looks awesome. But the pieces don't mean anything. And sometimes they're literally just doing it for the views, they're just doing it for the sale. So it's like there's no reason behind this. It's just it looks neat and it's gonna sell. So and again, I feel free to take everything with a grain of salt. I'm one artist with one opinion. I'm sure someone will end up responding to this and schooling me hard, but in my experience, you'll often find artists that are, again, either passionate, make stuff for themselves that doesn't sell. They make stuff that sells constantly, but unfortunately, they're not into it, and it doesn't mean anything. And then there's the artists that make stuff that means a ton of stuff. Sometimes they're into it, sometimes not, but it's never going to sell. And so for a long time, I was one of the artists that was making, I was the passionate artist that was making stuff that was never selling. Because the answer is always, well, that looks cool. Will you buy it? No, because I don't really have a place for it. I don't know where I would hang this in my house. It's such a weird piece. Like I can't really display this. I wouldn't feel comfortable with either friends or family having this thing around my house. So it's like what do you do with that? What do you do with work like that? One, you can make it for yourself and enjoy it and make it to share online. That's fine. Or two, you can not make it and make something that, one, you're still passionate about, two, still kind of means something, and three, is something that you know is going to sell, and that's the sweet spot. And that's kind of what I've been trying to get to, I think, for the past 20 minutes of saying all this crap. And part of all of that, even in fewer words, is what I was getting into with my collaborator friend 2 days ago when we were talking about both our work as well as the work of some of our fellow contemporaries. So yeah, that's the long story short. That's actually no, other way. Short story long. My brain's like long story short. No, it's the opposite. It's short story long. It's finding, yeah, it's about like, and I think the two of us, he was complimenting me way more than I deserved, but I'll probably turn this back this way now. The idea behind it was just we recognized, the two of us together recognized that in ourselves and that in other people around us, other artists that we interact with. And it was actually, honestly, the whole reason I started talking about this in the first place, one was to just tease the project, because it's literally a project of many thumbnails at this point. It's yeah, this is what we got so far. That's it. He's a very much a character kind of artist, and like robots and machines and very graphical. And I'm very, you guys know me. I'm the fantasy landscape guy. But our mentalities lined up really well, and every time we get together and talk, it's like fuck, I want to work on something with you. You're awesome. You get it. You get the process. And again, not bashing on my other fellow artists in the collective or anything, but there's some that don't really get it. There's some that are just doing it either just doing it for the money, just doing it for like, I can crank out this work and make this money. It's like, okay, great, but does it mean anything? And that's that's the real question to ask yourself. Like, whether you're an artist on a professional level, like, again, I'm at a point where I'm, again, just sold something yesterday, or rather was was sold yesterday. My art manager does all the work, peddling stuff and talking me up, because I'm not good at that stuff myself. Apparently, until people meet me and then they're like, yeah, I'll buy it. I'm like, shit. Again, topics for other days. But yeah, there are definitely artists of peers of mine that I simultaneously respect, but I'm also like, it's like, dude, just this live. Yes, this is live, Lisa. Cool. You're probably about, I would say, probably 10 seconds behind everyone else, or rather, I'm 10 seconds behind seeing it. 5 to 10. I don't know what the latency is, honestly. But God, yeah, there's artists in my community that I have deep respect for and admiration for, but at the same time, it's like, slow the hell down, make work that other people are going to care about besides just you. But also put more meaning into your work besides, like, I painted a face on a wall and here it is. Like, okay, great. Like, and there's all, like, I've talked about this stuff on the channel before. Like give it a title that's gonna mean something. Be there to talk about your work if you need to. Communicate with that with other people. Bad sound. Oh, geez. I might be able to take it up a little bit. I think my mic's down. Thanks for letting me know. Some people don't let me know, and it sucks. I've got. Oh, geez. Now I realize what's going on. Oh, good lord. Oh my god, it's taking the wrong damn mic. How about now? Yeah, okay. OBS got the wrong mic because I didn't check my properties. Great. I had an hour. Oh my god, I had an hour to troubleshoot this shit. Damn it. God, no wonder people have been in and out all stream. Son of a bitch. Now I'm mad at myself because I didn't check settings. I did not fucking check settings. Damn it. Welcome to Saturday. Ah! Yeah. It was yeah. I don't know what mic it was using. I've had my headset on for, how long am I streaming? 40 minutes. 42 minutes. 40, almost 43 minutes. I have no idea what mic it was using. Now, I've been talking loud enough that either of the other two mics, either the webcam mic or was probably my laptop mic that was picking up the audio, that was probably picking that audio up, and I've been talking loud enough that it matters. But God, I'm so damn mad at myself now. That's the thing, is I always forget to check these things. Have all the time in the world to do it, forget to check the settings. Also, it's OBS, and OBS loves to reset settings when you unplug devices. Hey, you unplugged your headset. Well, we're just going to reset the settings, because why the hell not? Also, I haven't streamed live on YouTube in the studio in probably 6 months, so other things. Like, there's been updates, whatever. I'm making excuses. I should get back to painting. Glad the audio is better now. Also, thanks. I'm bowing over. Thank you for letting me know, because I've totally had streams where people come in and out and then nobody tells me. Nobody tells me jack shit, because like, hey, well, the audio sucks. I'm not gonna tell him. He must know. No, he must not know. He's working on a painting. Damn it. Sorry. I'm getting way too damn passionate about this. If anyone's got questions, let me know. I know I had stuff going back and forth in and over from Instagram and stuff, so I'm not sure where and when things are coming through. I hate painting stairs. Why do I insist on making composition where there are staircases? It sucks. I follow this rule of the illusion of detail. It's you don't really have to paint the detail. You just have to kind of finesse it, and as long as the idea is there, you're good. Which is actually terrible advice, but I'm lazy. If nobody watching this channel has figured that out by now, I'm lazy, and my paintings reflect it constantly. So, yeah, how are you guys doing? Watching this evening? Shoot, I don't think I've had this many viewers in 3 years. That's what I get. That's what. It's also, I would say, not what I get. That's what I doing this early enough in the day is what I don't know that, like, I really need to shut up and paint because I've got way more projects than I've got ideas. Or no, other way. Wait, I've got more ideas than projects, and more projects than time to talk about shit. So, also, if you're new and you haven't realized that I swear a bunch on stream, hi, welcome to Cinderblock Studios live version. I did a show for a while called Cinderblock Studios Live, but I've given up on trying to name my live streams. Now it's just like, yeah, I'm live, whatever, deal with it. It's what it's gonna be, basically. I did a drawing, well, mixed media piece recently. I had to do a staircase, and I had to look up like 3 different staircase images just to be like, okay, I'm still like, for some reason my brain can't compute the mathematical angle of a staircase properly. And I was so frustrated. Like, I was trying to make one angle on one part of the staircase for at least 20 minutes, and I was like, I refused to do, it was pen stroke, but brush stroke is what my mind wants to say. But it was pen stroke because I was overlaying ink on mixed media, or on watercolor. Not really mixed media, it's watercolor. But also, that piece isn't online yet, so no one has any idea what the hell I'm talking about. Well, no, there was a in progress one on the Instagram. It was the Fire Cave. If anyone follows my Instagram, but yeah, I was so conflicted that I refused to even to put pen to paper, pen to illustration board. Fuck semantics, Ben. Stop it. Quit getting sidetracked, you idiot. Shit. Now I lost my train of thought. That and the page. Yeah, I couldn't figure out the angle of the staircase. Was the story I was trying to get to here. And it was like, it was just frustrating me to no end. But it was like, I gotta do this. I gotta finish this thing. And it took me 20 minutes to make the angle. And as soon as I did the angle, as soon as I did it once, I was like, crap, that's what I've been trying to do forever, and now I got to fix the rest of the piece and then make the like, it was like I learned it by like the bottom of the staircase. Like, I learned the angle here, and I had all this other crap that I did before, and I was like, well, now I have to like mess this up enough that it matches this that's messed up, and then try to mess this up, mess it up together in such a way that it looks right. And this is why it's really hard for me to do painting tutorials, because it's not this is how you do this. It's for me, it's mess it up enough times to make it look at least half decent. And that's not a thing you want to teach people. So I do fewer painting tutorials. And most of the time I'm trying to figure it out for myself anyway, so. Also realized I'm been thinking that I've been painting the vertical sections of the staircase, but really I'm painting the floors, so I'm going to lighten this color again and put some yellow into here. And oh, man, I have no idea why I continue to paint staircases. Short story long. Starting to learn that phrase for myself now. Short story long. That's what it is. Is I make very poor decisions. Good ideas compositionally, bad ideas for practice, and then I'm like, why am I doing this? I hate doing this. I hated the last time I did this. Why am I doing this again? But the same thought as before. I thought it would look cool. but I can't say that when I'm trying to sell the work. Wow, that's the most coherent the past hour has been. If you stuck around for the past hour and heard all that, congratulations. You've been rewarded with the princess at the end. That's what I've been trying to say for the past hour is something that I just said that now I forgot what I said. I gotta hit the bathroom, and my drink's almost gone, so I'm gonna refill my drink. So I'll be back in about 3 minutes or so, and I will get to. I see the chat's going too, and I don't know what's happening in the chat. So back in a couple minutes. Maybe enjoy the things you can't see on like. Also, my white balance is really off. I gotta fix that when I get back too. Apparently, so things to fix when I get back, and things to talk about when I get back. That will actually be in an upcoming video now that I've been talking about this. And okay, I'm gonna go off and pee because I'm literally just dancing in place. So I'll be back 2 to 3 minutes. Keep yourselves comfortable. Okay, let's see what's happening in chat, shall we? uh, tried some rum for breakfast. Why would you do that? That's a bad idea in and of itself. Jeez. Wow. Oh, Trinidad. Trinidad and Tobago. Holy crap. Wow. Love seeing people from all around the world. I don't know if you're still watching or anything, but great having you here if you see this in retrospect or later. Retrospect is not the word, man. So I've been mentally talking to myself a bunch. So I guess I want to talk a little bit about something that I want to make a bigger video on at some point. But okay, wow, I lost my numbers in the thing because it scrolled and I didn't want it to scroll. So that's fantastic. I don't know how that happened. Yeah. So I watched a video this morning. I was at work today, but I was still trying to distract myself to some degree. I gotta throw this away. And need a different color. Sorry. Realizing that this yellow is not the yellow that I totally need. I need to mix them with someone Southern Yellow. It's a video from a semi-popular YouTuber. He's under 1 million, but he's still, still popular. Dude with channel and whatever. And I've watched a few of his videos before. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but his stuff has come through my feed periodically. And he made a video about him having autism, specifically Asperger's, because Asperger's is a different, well, the spectrum is a lot of different branches, and Asperger's is usually the branch that you can cope better as a functioning adult without as much help. Not that, again, that's an excuse. I don't want to poo-poo on any of that. I mean, I have a cousin with autism that's sort of a moderate case, and it's every time I think about him, it's like, man, it's like that's got to be really hard. But with the Asperger's guy, what he was describing was a sense of focus and derivative focus and where his mind can branch off into. I'm watching this and I'm like, wow, this actually sounds a lot like the stuff that I deal with, but I'm not on the spectrum, but what I do have is ADHD. And it's something that was sort of diagnosed when I was 17. But it's not been like officially, like really officially like diagnosed. But in my adult life, I've met friends, or rather people who very quickly became friends because of it. And because just we share a certain similarity. And in the past 2.5 years, it's something that I have come to terms with in a different way than I used to have. And again, this is a topic for a separate video. I'm coming up on 10,000 subscribers for the year, and I want to do a video on my artistic journey. But I also want to have the ADHD video come out before that, and after today, possibly even later when I finish this live stream, I might record it just because it's fresh in my mind. Is learning more about it, learning more that other people that have it, and I'm starting to kind of come around in some ways, being like, okay, recognizing it is really important. Oh, good, you're still here. Recognizing that having something means that you also have the ability to sort of self-regulate it to some degree. I'm not saying that I'm the best at it, and next time I have a physical, I'm gonna probably be looking to my family doctor for some referrals for all kinds of different things, to be honest, because there are things that were never really talked about, things that I didn't. I didn't grow up. I mean, I grew up with it, but it wasn't a condition that was specifically, we're medicating you, we're looking this into you for your education or whatever. Like, I mean, I wasn't, again, unofficially diagnosed until I was 17. So, and like the psychologist was like, yeah, you might have it, and I'm like, duh, I could have told you that. Because I knew myself, even at that point, and into my adult life. Now it's been a matter of I know what I do. I know how my brain works, and kind of what I was saying before, in the past couple of years, and again, what I'll end up saying when I make a more formal video on it is part of it, at least for me, because there are people, adults, mixed feeling on children medicated for it, but adults that need some sort of medication to cope and to be able to do that and to live normal lives that way, quote unquote normal. I hate the term normal, honestly, because I've personally never liked the term normal because it doesn't fit with anything else. And I'm not bringing this up to be like, oh, you should feel sorry for me or whatever. Like, no, this is just, it's how my brain works. And something I've said in the recent years has been like, I'm sorry, this is just how my brain works. Like I want to apologize, but it's like my brain doesn't work that way. And you guys saw earlier how quickly I was forgetting stuff, and like I was thinking, I got on a tangent, and then a tangent of a tangent, and then it's like it's gone. The idea is gone. Um, Again, not something I can help. It's just something that happens. Um, and what they say is people who are ADHD are usually more creative, and it makes sense because that's, again, when I'm in a creative mindset, that's how my brain works. I constantly jump in between ideas. Um, it's also why I love painting so much, because it takes all that away. It lets me essentially hyper focus on one thing. Unless apparently I'm talking to my stream, in which case I'm still kind of bouncing around a little bit. But when I'm really like alone in my studio and working, like everything else just disappears. It all goes away. And that's really important for me. So I got honest again. The video I was watching, at least to start off my tangent for the day, while I was at work trying to get my job done, and there's nobody there, so there's nobody to like wag their finger at me. There's no boss, there's no team lead or anything, so it's just me trying to get done by the end of the day. So the negative incentives aren't really there. Also because I work tomorrow and I can totally just push stuff to tomorrow, and no one will know, because as long as it got done on the weekend, it's fine. Which is really hard for someone like me. But why I want to make a bigger video on this is really just recognizing that this isn't something that everyone deals with, and trying to make videos and trying to explain stuff in videos about all this. It's going to be hard for me to do, and it's also, I feel like it's going to be telling, because like, again, there's weeks that I miss because there's the motivation isn't there. Anyway, yeah, so I was watching videos. Getting sidetracked already. Watching videos about it. Started the video about the guy and Asperger's and autism, and then I got tangented back into a channel called How to ADHD. Basically binged watched these videos in between trying to get my work done all day. And what I found from that, well, not just from that, but from other stuff, is that I may or may not actually need medication for it. Because there's things that I do in my life, specifically my certain consumption of alcohol, as I say as I take a sip, that exists as a coping mechanism for this stuff. Which, until I was like watching these videos and hearing some of these experiences and a lot of what exists on that channel, which I, after 3 videos, subscribed to, I was like it's actually really refreshing to hear stories about other people that have the same struggles and mentalities that I do, and it's like I don't have a lot of friends that get it. I have like 2 friends that are like in the ADHD mindset that I am, that understand, like, yeah, you got to get your thoughts out there, otherwise you're gonna forget. Like, and this is the one thing I was thinking about earlier today was I have a few friends that literally will get almost like really furious with me because I'm interrupting them. But it's like, you don't understand. If I don't get my thought out there, it's gone. I gotta, excuse me. I gotta push the thought out there as soon as humanly possible. Normally in a realistic human conversation, somebody would talk, the other person would talk, and you just take turns the whole time. In an ADHD person's brain like mine, what you get is I have to get my thought out there, or I'm going to forget it. And if I forget it, I'm going to be really mad at myself for forgetting. And whether either angry at you, angry at other people, or however it decides to come out. But it almost always is. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I don't want to say that your point is invalid, but if I don't get this out there, it will be worse for everybody. And in my conversations with friends, if I let my friend talk, and I try my best to do so, because I want to be a good listener, I want to be a good friend, whatever that means, because I don't know, because my mind's in 6 different places at any given moment. But the thing is always like, I'll let you talk, and you can talk, but if I have something to say, and I have something to say, and you want to hear what I have to say, I can't listen to you. You'll talk, and that'll be great, and I'll catch maybe 5% of everything you said, but if I have something to say, I have to remember it. And if you're talking, I'm not going to remember it. This is I might as well just cut the segment of this stream for the video, because this is literally everything I want to talk about in the video, but I still probably want to make the video anyway. But it is so much of like but like, if I can interrupt you and get through my thought, you can finish your thought. I have no problem with you finishing your thought, and I will listen fully to your thought. But if I can't get my thought out there, I'm gonna forget, and then like when somebody's like, "Oh, what were you gonna say?" and I'm like, "I don't know. I've forgotten because I was listening to you because my mind shifted." But yeah, the channel again, the channel that kind of got me on this tangent of a tangent was it's called How to ADHD. Whether you have it or you don't, it's worth watching those videos to get an understanding of possibly how some of your friends, family, or otherwise, maybe even significant others, think and react to stuff. And I want to make a bigger, more personal video on this channel about that, because it does affect things beyond friends, family, and relationships. It affects my artistic career in huge ways. And kind of where I was going with a thought I was having probably about 5 minutes ago. Now that I'm 5 minutes, 10, I don't know. Time means nothing. But if I've learned anything from watching these ADHD videos, it's that time means fucking nothing to somebody on the ADHD. I don't want to say spectrum, because as soon as you say spectrum, you think autism, but it really is a mixed bag of people that have different variants of ADHD, and I've met, again, my one friend, we share a lot in common, and we also don't share a lot in common because we have very different experiences. And it's such a matter of just oh, I was going to fix my white balance, and I didn't. That's right. Let me do that before I forget. Actually, it's really not bad. It might just be the stream degrading the stuff. Degrading the stuff, sure. A little cooler than that. A little less saturated. And a little bit brighter, I think. Very minor tweaks, but it was driving me nuts, so it's gotta be driving somebody else nuts. But yeah, so the video I want to get to and probably record this weekend is this, like, hey, look, semi-diagnosed, I've got ADHD, and it's simultaneously like a superpower for creatives and unbelievably crippling for both not only creativity as also just like general life stuff. And really, like, I don't want to try and change anyone's mind about anything or say like you have to do it this way or not do it this way, but I really want to put my experience out there. And it's one of the things, like, I didn't realize how much it affected my life until I started thinking about it more. But at the same time, when I started thinking about it more, it actually allowed me to focus better, know what my quote unquote triggers are, and where I lose focus, and it's it's different every day, but I want to make it really just for other creatives that are like, hey, if you're like maybe saying like, do I have it? Don't I have it? I want to link to these other videos and really just I would say in the same way I do with any other video, engage you guys in a conversation and be like, hey, this is a thing. And you don't necessarily have to have it, not have it, whatever, but it affects a lot of stuff. It affects what you do as a creative person. It affects me personally and my motivations. Like, motivation is such a huge thing. One of the last ones I watched today was like ADHD and motivation. It's like, holy crap, I had no idea my motivation issues were part of this problem. So it's really important to know this stuff. So yeah, it's so that's what's on my mind today is being like, wow, maybe I should really be talking to a professional about this stuff and not just trying to do everything myself. Also realizing that the fact that it affects life stuff and relationships more than just more than I would have ever thought of. Like, just again, like, just watching those videos and hearing about this, it's like, God, I relate to so much of this, and I didn't know I would. So having some personal revelations today and being like, again, like, not to just, piggyback off the one guy's video, but it's like, it's something that I've been ignoring. Well, not ignoring. It's always been on my mind to do a video on it on the channel, but it's also one of those things of like, I don't want to glaze over it. I don't want to make a video just so people can feel sorry for me, because that's not the point. The point is really to be like, look, here's a thing. Here's a thing. Here's the thing. Is that it's bigger than that. And like, the reason why, probably the bigger reason why Kingdom of the Wind isn't done yet, is because I lose the attention for it. So it's like, screw it, it's gone thing, and I'm focused on other stuff, and I put other projects in the way. Actually, one of the telltale signs or something of like, do you have ADHD? It's like, do you have a bunch of projects that you never finish? And I just immediately thought of the studio. I'm like, I've got like 20 something things on the floor of like, this thing and this color looks good, and that here's something I haven't finished since last October. It's like, holy shit. Like, as soon as I started like really analyzing it, it's like, wow. It's almost amazing I've been able to function as an adult at all. With my experience, and it's like, well, for me, it was never you need to be medicated, you need to be this, you need to be that. It was just like, this is how I work. And unfortunately, through parental guidance and otherwise, it's led me to basically everyone's like, well, you're lazy. It's like, well, no, I know it needs to be done. I know I need to do it. I mean, it took me 2.5 years to change my cable and internet settings. It has nothing to do with being lazy. It's like, it's just, you got to work up the motivation and the mindset to do it. And I knew I needed to be on vacation to do it, which is weird enough to most people. It's like there's a whole other, you have to be on that mindset for it. And could be weird to some people, but it took me to most of my now into my 30s to realize, like, hey, not everybody thinks like I do. And you can't judge people like that. And deeper conversation for not tonight, but later. I've had some issues with friends in the past 6 months, leaning towards the latter part of that 6 months, or no, earlier part of the former part of those 6 months, of realizing, like, not everybody I'm friends with gets it, which has just been harder for me. So if you're just joining or joining back in, I've been ranting a little bit about ADHD, which is a video I need to make about, because it's important. It's important because I have it. It's important because I've never really talked about it on the channel. It's important not to make people feel sorry for me, but to engage the conversation, which is important to have. Remember at the top of this stream, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do all this stuff and maybe get to this other painting and maybe finish this painting. At this point, I'm like limiting my attention span for tonight. I really am. Like, I'm just looking at this. I'm like, shit, I'm not finishing this anywhere close to tonight. I might finish the staircase and get the shrine thing done that I'm doing. But as far as finishing anything, hell no, not happening tonight. I do want to come back with my black paint marker, though. Also, I was saying before about fellow artists in the community and things, was there's a lot... Shifting back to more positive notes, there's a lot of artists in my community that don't know how to slow the hell down. Which I don't want to be the one to complain about, because it took me, it's like 14 years to learn to slow down. So I'm not a good example of, hey, be like me, slow down. Like, no, I still rush through stuff. Like, it's not it's not a, hey, I'm perfect, here we go. But there is a, wow, that, God, why the hell did I put a dark line in the middle of that? This looks like shit. It's paint. You can paint over it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint over it because it looks like crap. Good news is it's paint. Bad news is you're going to see that mistake for the rest of your goddamn life. Pardon the language. I don't pardon my language. Ever, really, but I understand that GD means more to different people than it does to me. I mean, it should mean more to me than it does to me, but yeah. Okay, good. I can't see it anymore. We're fine. But I do want to grab my paint marker for some of this. It's the white one. All right. I can use the white one for a while. Something's wrong with my white one. The paint's not transparent as it should, or the paint's more transparent than it should be. So I've got, I'm going to do usually a rope around there. Again, basing this off of some things I see in anime, things that are Shinto mythology and spirituality inspired. So you have like the rope around the rock and like a talisman. I'm pretty sure talisman's still the wrong word. I haven't watched a lot of my favorite sort of like demon spiritual anime that I really like in a long time, so I'm kicking myself for not knowing the word to use for this. Oh shit, it was there. God damn, it was there for half a second. I'm like, oh my god, I got it. Nope, I don't got it. God. You see them too. It's God, they're all over like Spirited Away. If you watch the Miyazaki films, like the splash, like you see them with like it's like the yokai, yokai spirits, the animal spirits that thing, and they're all over the place. And the thing in there, they use them in the bath tiles. God damn it, pissing me off now that I don't know what the thing is called. As soon as I remember it, it's gonna like going to go. Oh, I remember. I'm gonna be so excited. Shit, now I'm thinking about it. Screw it. I'm also due for another bathroom break because liquor. Uh, so I'm probably gonna work a little bit more tonight, not a ton. Also, any of you guys watching here and there have any questions for me beyond anything I've either what I'm ranting about or anything I'm doing or just general art related questions? Let me know. Also want to check my phone for any comments up that way. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna check Instagram while I'm upstairs. If you guys have anything to say to me or things to talk about or questions or just want to tell me where you're watching from, that's cool too. Let me know. I will be back. Everything like that. Give yourselves a break if you need one. Okay, I'm back and now just realizing I went up to pee and probably do something else and I already forgot what the hell it was. Remember before when I was saying how uh, alcohol takes the edge off? Yeah, sometimes it makes it worse after a while. Takes the edge off and then it makes it worse. It's a friend of mine when we hang out together. We sit down for drinks and it's like it's my ADHD friend. We're so much in each other's mindsets. It's just ridiculous. Um, Quedos, is it acrylic I'm using? Yes, it is. What audio? What? Whoa, 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 whoa! Why is my audio off? Now it's telling me my audio's off. I don't know why the bit rate's low. Hopefully it's not so low. Like I don't know what it is when I stream on my laptop. YouTube's like, hey, you're doing it wrong. Anyway, hopefully it's still good. Yeah, I'm using acrylic. 9 times out of 10, I'm using acrylic on this channel. If you're new, but yeah, so acrylic for most things. So yeah, where was I? I was at thing and that, and this and the highlights. Right. Okay. Yeah, highlights, acrylics for most stuff. Also, I've seen some before, but oh damn! I almost again tip of the tongue. Like half a second. I remember what the thing was called. Still forgot. It's going to say like right before I go to bed. Tell me. Oh yeah, what was that thing called? Should look that up. Oh, some protection. Damn it. Protection thing. It's now fuck it. I'm looking it up now because I'm now I remember where I know it from more so is the game Okami, which is a game that I need to get back to playing, or rather play again, I should say. Because why are you over there, you piece of shit? What the hell is that thing called? Talents, artifacts. I don't know. Trophies. Damn it. My brain wants to call them talismans, and I know it's wrong. Screw it. No, I'm not doing this when I'm live because I can't because it's bad for everyone for me to try and figure out what the hell I'm trying to say when I'm not trying to say it and whatever. Anyhow, I'm gonna finish this staircase and probably call it a night. But yeah, I'm using acrylic. I would say, despite I'm using different viscosities. So I've got heavy body, I've got high flows, and actually I think it's heavy body and high flows tonight. Sometimes I use inks, sometimes I use the opens, which are like a more of a sort of medium to soft body paint. But damn it, I'm so mad at myself for. Okay, I need the white. I need a little more. I need some white into this. It's actual titanium white. Actually, I have this liquidy stuff that I've been trying to dilute down. So maybe there'll be some here I can actually grab that's gonna be loose enough, but also not too loose. Loose enough, but not too loose. Sure, that makes sense. Just trying to lighten those areas up a little. Yeah, there we go. Again, staircase structure isn't really important / something I'm trying to focus on, because if I do try to focus on it, it's going to drive me nuts, and I know it's never going to be right. So, as long as it's close, that's all I really care about. Should you paint that way? No, you should actually try to do more realism. It's more important. Oh, God damn it, I just remembered I had to check the damn phone for Instagram. Son of a bitch. Okay, it was just favorites. We're fine. Remember what I said before about how painting takes away the distractions for me? Good example right there. When I paint and the distractions are gone, suddenly I remember the things that were important that I should have been doing before. So yeah, I went up to apparently use the bathroom and check Instagram and use the bathroom. Totally forgot about Instagram in the course of the past 6 minutes or 8 or how long have I been streaming? Oh, geez, hour and a half. I should probably go eat dinner at some point. Might be a good idea. But before I do, God, there's a lot of color on this palette. I'll scrape some of this into my used paint no white thing. I don't know if I have got a quick tip on this or not, but if you want to save paint and you have some extra jars, or maybe get an extra jar, scrape it into a jar, and you make a nice, nasty base color, and you're not really wasting paint because you're using the base color later, and it becomes a nasty base color, and you're not wasting the money on the paint that you didn't use because it went into the jar. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of overlap, and oh crap, I forgot a color. Of course, I forgot a color because that's what I do. I forget shit constantly. The land of ADHD. Forget stuff constantly. Yeah, that was the... I don't know if I said it already or not, but that was the bridge between watching the Autism Guy's video to suddenly binge watching all the ADHD videos was the bridge between autism and the spectrum to ADHD is inabilities to focus, but in different ways. So a lot of what the Asperger's autism guy was saying was like, I was like, God, I agree with all of this. But not because I'm on the spectrum, but because I have ADHD. And then it led into this whole thing. And then I'm like, I got to make a video of this on the channel. And ended up talking about it for 2/3 of the live stream tonight, which is not my intention, but ended up being what it was. Actually, I got a little... This is all dried paint from the last session, or the session before this, I should say. But I want to get some of my go-to shadow color here to lean in on some of this other stuff. Well, now it's just really occurring to me that, like, I want my focal point to really be the pillar here, but this tree, this half-dead tree here is really going to be a lot more of the focal point. So I have to probably rethink some color choices in the upcoming, not tonight's painting session, but probably the one for, it will be Tuesday. No, shit, it won't be Tuesday. Shit. I'm gonna have to work in another painting session later, because next Tuesday is my weekly live stream, and I also have a lot of other stuff to get done next Tuesday. So I likely won't be painting on my regular, like, off day the way I would. So chances are I'm going to be trying to work in a painting day probably either tomorrow night or Monday night, because otherwise I'm going to be screwed and be really kind of like mentally backed up painting wise. And when that happens, I get really irritable. So, gonna try and have to work in a day to paint sometime before next Tuesday. Obviously, won't be live because I have other responsibilities in my life to do, and I can't paint live for everything. That's why things like Twitter and Instagram exist, so I can. Wow, that's really thick. That's why things like Twitter and Instagram exist, so I can exist and function on other levels without having to worry about producing a video or whatever. Yeah. This has been a weird stream. This has been a very weird stream. I went from like super excited and things to now I'm like, I'm mellowing out now. All I want now is dinner and probably some gaming tonight. Speaking of gaming and what I was talking about as Tuesdays, if it's weird or not weird for you, I don't know. It's weird for me to watch anyone else play games, but I stream on Twitch every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you watch my art channel regularly and like, wow, this guy doesn't stream enough or doesn't upload videos enough, because I want to see more of this guy, because I don't know how weirdly obsessive you might be. Just saying, like, if you want to see more of me, I should turn this around and make it seem like a marketing play. If you want to see more of me, I stream every Tuesday on Twitch. I used to be, it used to be a dual branding thing. I used to be Cinderblock Studios over on Twitch. I am no longer Cinderblock Studios on Twitch. I am now Castles and Cocktails on Twitch. I stream every Tuesday. I pour myself a drink or two, play a game. Lately, it's been things I've never played before. So my reaction is wholesome and genuine, I guess you could say. And I'm not trying to be preachy and ranty in any sense of the term. Um, so yeah, you can also find the backlog of old streams on Castles and Cocktails on YouTube. And that's sort of my little side project, is that I stream games on Tuesdays. So um, yeah, if you want to see me outside of the context of art, um, the Castles and Cocktails stream is a great way to do that. Word of warning in advance: if you thought I've been mouthy tonight, you have no idea how mouthy I get when I stream and play games. So when I stream on Twitch, my streams to new viewers, they're rated mature, because one, I'm also having it tonight, but I'm having a cocktail or a mixed drink on stream, as well as usually swearing profusely. So it's a thing. It's an alternate thing I do. If you're not interested, it's fine. If you're just in it for the art, cool. Keep following me here. I'm gonna keep doing stuff here. But I honestly, a friend of mine got me into the Twitch thing, and I really, honestly, really enjoy it. Certainly not taking the place of my art stuff, but I really am passionate about my Tuesday evening streams when I do them. So if you guys are interested in that, feel free to check me out. Again, excuse me. The streams are Tuesday evenings, 6 p.m. Eastern. To catch me live on Twitch, the stream stays live or stays up, at least as a video, for like a month. But every week I put last week's stream on YouTube on the my tertiary channel, Castles and Cocktails. Same name again, Castles and Cocktails on Twitch, Castles and Cocktails on YouTube. You can find me there. And so if you want to see me on a more regular basis besides the channel here on YouTube when I'm doing art, you want to see what I do besides paint, because I do way more stuff besides paint. One of the things I do is stream games, and that's the thing I do there. So again, trying to plug that. Also, if you want to interact with me beyond just this channel, there is a community Discord server. Discord is actually designed for gamers. That's how I got into it, thanks to the same friend that got me into some of the games that I play on my weekly stream. But a lot of other communities have grabbed into it. Artists have grabbed into it. A lot of not safe for work artists have grabbed into it, as well as just people doing it for personal use. You can hop on and it's limited video chat, though it is available if you want to do that. But primarily, just it's basically a private chat room. And I have a private chat room for this channel called Cinderblock Society. There's a link to that in the description box below, where you click that and you're taken to it as like an invite. If you don't have an account, you can set one up and drop one in. So if you want to converse with me outside of just watching me on the channel here on YouTube, you want to get advice on your artwork or just talk about random garbage, I'm going to be there. God, I swear, every time I'm wrapping up the show, that's when people can start to join. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm wrapping up the show. But feel free to go back and watch, because I talked about a lot of important stuff. So did not get anywhere close to finishing anything. Oh, right, paint marker. This is actually the one thing I did want to do before the end of the night, because my foreground stuff got messed up at last time I was doing this. So let me just do this, because it shows up on camera better too anyway. So yeah. So I stream on Twitch, playing games every Tuesday, Castles and Cocktails. Slow that down. Castles and Cocktails. On Twitch, as well as other channel on YouTube. Search Castles and Cocktails here on YouTube. You're going to find that other channel. I've got like 5 subscribers on that channel, so I could really use another few, I imagine, eventually. Granted, I've got 3 channels now, so different levels of attention. Well, three on YouTube, 4 if you count the the same one, but on Twitch. But yeah, stream games every Tuesday. I look forward to that almost more now than my weekly uploads, just because it's almost easier for me to sit down and screw around with the games than it is for me to try to crank out a video every week. But yeah, so I've got projects coming up. I've got collab I'm working on. I've got 2 books upcoming. If you're just into the art stuff, that's all important stuff, and I will be talking about that in the near future on this channel. But if you're interested in seeing me outside of the art context, I do a ton of other stuff, and you can always find this stuff on my website. So I've got a SoundCloud where I produce electronic music. I've got the Twitch where I play games every Tuesday. What else do I do now that I'm thinking about it? If you know me in person, if you live in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, you can check out my artwork in person in Lawrenceville. The corner of 44th and Butler Street is Red Fishbowl Studios. I have more or less a permanent corner in that space where you can see my art in person and buy it in person. If you want to buy my artwork, you can check it out at Red Fishbowl Studios, redfishbowl.com, and follow the link for Ben Yockel or Yockel Art, and you will find me there. Yockel for spelling out my last name, but I'm the only Ben on that website, so it's also easy to find it that way. So yeah, I really wish I spent more time on this painting tonight. One final ploy: if anyone's got art questions, drop them in now, or any just general questions for me. I had something going through Instagram, but I'm not going to check that again before they cut the stream. Oh, but I do get to. Do I have my brush cleaner here? Do I have a thing of brush cleaner? Nope. Everything's empty. Cool. I actually have to go to the sink. So I have some time before I go to the sink. Any final questions, let me know now. If not, I'll be cutting the stream probably in about 5 minutes. Thanks, everyone, for watching. But again, if you want to see more of this stuff, locally, Pittsburgh, check me out at Red Fishbowl Studios. Online, Tuesday gaming stuff, or just honestly send me an email, hit me up somewhere on YouTube, or find one of my accounts. I'm very easy to get a hold of. So I'm gonna rinse my brushes, get a hold of this stuff, give you guys a minute, and I'll be back in 5, I guess. I think that's about it for today. I'm actually more mad at myself now that I talked more than I painted, because I really needed to get more stuff done than I did. But on the plus side, I did get talk about stuff and live and whatever or not. I got a lot of stuff off my chest, and that was really important. This is my current sketchbook. I'm working on collaborations with a fellow. I'm going to pull this back out for a second. Where was I at? Here we go. Planetary robot stuff. Working on this concepts for a collaboration project with a fellow Pittsburgh artist, but that's currently what's in my pipeline. I've got this project. I got a project on my easel. I got a King of the Wind project ready to go. Announcements, sort of announcements. I know watching of my streams is limited, so I'll say this here because I haven't made a video about it yet. I am putting out my first compilation of paintings as a coffee table art book this month. I'm getting 25 copies printed of a book that I'm calling Worlds Unknown. If you want to get your hands on a copy and you happen to live in Pittsburgh locally, you can find them at the gallery sometime later in this month, late April probably. I will be giving away 2 copies of that, along with hopefully 2 copies of my upcoming book, Kingdom of the Wind, later this year, and as a giveaway. Very excited about that, and the other 10 copies I'll probably be holding in my collection or also selling at the gallery. I'm not sure what. It's it's gonna be like 5 reserved copies, 2 of which are gonna be like friends and family, 3 of which are friends and family, 2 of which are reserved for the giveaway, 10 for the gallery, 10 for whenever it happens to be. So yeah, I've actually got a book coming out, which I'm really excited for. Videos coming up on my experience with ADHD and as a creative, as an artist. I talked to probably more about that tonight in this live stream than I will do in the video. But if you're here for that, cool. Thanks for being here and listening to me rant. I've got a sketchbook in front of me. You can check out my old sketchbook series on my second channel, Sketch Every Day. Just search Sketch Every Day, you'll find me. It's an S with like an E front, and it's in a triangle. It's a really weird logo, but yeah, in Sketch Every Day you can find. It's the only channel that's called Sketch Every Day on YouTube. There's Sketch Daily, but Sketch Every Day is my channel, and you'll know that because I'm in the channel trailer. If you want to keep hanging out with me, learning about acrylic painting and all that other stuff, stay around the channel here. Every now and then I stream like this where I work and talk and do other things in between. If you want to check me out personally outside of the artistic world, you can check me out on Twitch at Castles and Cocktails. It's spelled out and is spelled out. It's not an ampersand because that doesn't work in a URL. Castles and Cocktails on Twitch, Castles and Cocktails on YouTube for the backlogs. I do a lot of other stuff. You can find all that stuff on my website, cinderblockstudios.com. Also, total plug at the end here. Something else that's going to be a separate video is I'm working on a podcast with a friend of mine. Saw him as Lucas in the comments if you've been watching live. We've been in the early stages of producing a podcast called Tangent Ever After. It's his show, but I'm currently doing most of the production work. That to shift in the near future, but yeah, probably a video about that coming. I would guess in early June, once there's a few more shows under our belt. But if you're into podcasts, you're listening to people talk about pop culture, and you want to see what I'm doing beyond the art stuff, I guess. So yeah, Castles and Cocktails, Cinderblock Studios stuff, and the podcast Tangent Ever After, which again will be a bigger announcement video later. That's what's going on my plate. So many things at once. I should really go eat something at this point. Hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Keep on creating. Thanks guys for watching, and I will